Hello, once again. Welcome to the show. I'm your host, Kyle, and again, I'd like to apologize for the the somewhat lower quality of the audio of this recording. But we'll press on, and I'm going to be talking about quite an exciting film that I just watched. It is The Three Musketeers, D'Artagnan. Uh, it's set in 1627. And 1627 was, I guess, a time of conspiracies and rebellion in the heart of France. The inexperienced King Louis XIII, played here by Louis Garrel, rules in a peaceful nation, but war is brewing as Protestant and Catholic rivals look set to explode in violence, and the king looks to Cardinal Richelieu, played here by Eric Ruff, for guidance. However, the duplicitous Richelieu has schemes of his own at play. Now, at this time, the young noble D'Artagnan, Francois Civil, arrives in France from Gascony to join the king's Musketeers. Now, an elite fighting force, the Musketeers guard and are loyal to the household of the king. D'Artagnan, who is at this point now a cadet, he's only been in France a few hours before he inadvertently insults the honor of three musketeers, pretty much back to back. Now, the three musketeers being the older Athos, played by Vincent Cassel, the suave Aramis, played by Romain Duris, and the jovial Porthos, played by Pierre Malmet. Now, each of these musketeers separately challenged the cadet to a duel, but when circumstances lead the four men to collectively fight a common enemy, an inseparable bond of friendship is formed between them. Of course, the three musketeers already knew each other, but now they take D'Artagnan under their wings and become quite good friends with him. Unknowingly, however, the four comrades find themselves embroiled in a fiendish plot to undermine the king. Athos is framed for a crime which he would never have committed, and he is sentenced to death. To save his life, the others must prove his innocence and uncover a grand conspiracy, all the while trying to stay ahead of the beautiful yet deadly Milady de Winter, played here by Eva Green, who is Cardinal Richelieu's chief spy and his agent of chaos. Now, in 1844, Alexandre Dumas wrote possibly his greatest work, or maybe the one that he's most known for, The Three Musketeers. And in the 180 years since this swashbuckling adventure has gone on to be incredibly influential across literature and film, inspiring countless other works. Direct adaptations have been plentiful as well, with the novel's expansive story even allowing for several double feature retellings. For The Three Musketeers D'Artagnan, director Martin Bourbon presents the first installment in his epic two-part take on this historical French tale. Now, I mean, as said, there have been many other adaptations of the novel, but Bourbon's feels particularly authentic, and perhaps largely it's really just thanks to it being a French production. But the film manages to blend historical intrigue with bombastic action scenes, which I think that modern audiences won't be able to. They won't be able to help themselves but find really thrilling, just for how they're filmed, how they're performed, and yeah, it's shot really well. You know, this first installment, of course, being The Three Musketeers, it features numerous sword fights and horse chase sequences, but these are filmed with, quite often, they're filmed with elaborate single take shots. And but something that I found myself really grateful for was the film's focus on gunplay as well. I say that because it's kind of surprising just how many musketeer films forget about the whole musket part, and the added quality of several actors, particularly Francis Civil, performing many of their own stunts, makes for a consistently intense experience as well. The prestige of the film also comes from its featuring some of France's most recognized actors. I've personally been a fan of Vincent Cassel and Louis Garrel for over 20 years. I've probably butchered their names, but honestly, I have been a fan of both of them for over 20 years, Vincent Cassel in particular. And the two of them I think, really like quite brilliant here. With Louis Garrel's King Louis, he wears his insecurities as prominently as his royal garments. He's really this man who's on the verge of losing everything, and I don't know, for a character for somebody like Louis Garrel, who's such basically one of France's most beloved and thought of as one of them, basically is like their Brad Pitt. Yeah, playing somebody who's really insecure and being believable in that, I think he does such a really wonderful job here. While Vincent Cassel, he's kind of this weary and damaged but still dutiful hero who he's full of secrets and regrets. Also, Eva Green, for her part, she plays the role of an antagonist as perfectly as she did in Sin City, A Dame to Kill For, and also 300 Rise of an Empire, whatever that one was, whatever that was called. I mean, both the 300 sequel and the Sin City sequel, both of those movies, Eva Green as the villain in both of them was pretty much the best thing about them. But much of her character's story will be central to the plot of Part Two, which will fittingly be titled "The Three Musketeers, Milady." The film also makes for quite a beautiful sight to behold. The cinematography by Nicholas Bolduc, it not only benefits the film's action sequences, but also the wonderful costume design by Thierry Delaret. The grittiness of the time is portrayed, but the vibrant colors of the outfits and the on location film shoots, I think almost all of this, both of these movies were filmed on location. Like, there was very little use of sets that were built for the movie. Most of it was filmed in like either real actual locations. Yeah, the beauty of those locations, it shines through, and it's a far cry. I guess just basically it's one of the first kind of French period type films that I've watched since Ridley Scott's Napoleon last year. And if there was one thing that really held that movie back for me, it was just the dreary, washed out color grading that plagued that movie, and none of that is here. This movie is so really beautiful to watch, and yeah, much better than a lot of other films of this type. So it really is an action-packed, visually stunning and intriguing film. So I feel that the Three Musketeers d'Artagnan, it's really firing on all cylinders. The only real downside of the film is that I think it feels like it's over too soon. I think they probably could have made it go a little bit longer. And the cliffhanger ending, it may leave some audiences disappointed, but personally, however, it leaves me excited to see where the story goes next, and I'm highly anticipating the release of the second half of this fantastic epic. So I'm going to give this movie 4.5 out of 5. I really did enjoy it. I really highly recommend it. And yeah, I can't stress enough just how much I'm looking forward to seeing the release of the second half of this film, which I believe should be coming out next month. So yeah, that'll be that's one to keep an eye out for.